First, we are all very happy because Paris Agreement went into effect today. And so it is the first meeting of the parties since the Paris Agreement has entered into effect. Second, I think it is very important to have the first step of implementation conducted by a presidency coming from a country on the African continent, because then the priorities on the implementation will be certainly more turned towards concrete implementation in the poorest countries. This initiative is really important to have it conducted into the climate negotiation, because it allows the negotiators of the climate agreement to look at one issue which has been disregarded in the past, which is the soil carbon. Just for the information of the general public, you have to see that most of the soil carbon is the one which is the easiest to sequester. If we were, for example, to rehabilitate 12 million hectares of degraded land per year, you could sequester up to 1/3 of all the CO2 emissions every year. So it's a very powerful way to actually mitigate the CO2 emission. But of course, by doing action on soil carbon, you are going also to work on land productivity. And working on land productivity is the best action you can do today to ensure the better adaptation to climate change that you can have into all the spectrum of activities which exist. So this initiative is very important because it helps for mitigation of climate change, it helps for adaptation to climate change, but it is also the main way for millions of Africans to survive, because 75% of African population still live out of agriculture. And so it is a very good way to ensure the economic development of this population. Well, I think that the main challenge for African agriculture is to make sure that we are building an enabling environment which is conducive to confidence by investors. In particular, in Africa, one of the main problems is that in many, many countries, you still don't have land rights and land tenures which are yet into place in a way that you give confidence. Again, most of the investment in the land sector takes a lot of time. And so it is important that we build all this institutional framework which is necessary to make sure that people will want to invest on the long term for the development of agriculture. That's on the main challenge. On the main interest of the African agriculture is that actually it is where we have the most available lands in the world. And Africa, if they play it right, could be the main food producer of the world in the next century. And so enormous market for food security through the world could be done on the African side.